Oh, YouTube, HeirofCarthage back, and we're gonna keep talking Wood Elves. First off, let me start off and make a correction from the quest battle yesterday. I knew this was gonna happen. Like as soon as the battle was over, I realized that it was the dang warlord or Bray Shaman or whatever they call him from the quest battle that was making it do that, like making all my guys' life disappear. And then I got like 300 comments saying it. Which hey, I got it. I asked you what was wrong, and I got my answer. So yes. And it's funny because there's always comments like, "Air, you miss everything." I don't think I miss everything. And sometime you ought to try commentating while playing. I doubt you'll do a whole lot better. But no, yes, I am very prone to mistakes. I'm admitting that. Absolutely. I'm just saying that it's more confusing than you think sometimes. So let's pick up where we left off with the Wood Elves, which I think was at the end of their infantry. I don't think I talked about their bows or anything else down here. So let's talk about some of these items, or some of these units. So Glade Guard, it's the cheapest archer that's available to him. What's good and what's bad about this unit? Well, I mean, their melee stats are pretty decent for a bow unit, and their range is quite good at 160. Ammunition's, decent. Missile damage is pretty standard for a bow, but they can fire while they're moving. However, they do have a forward-facing firing arc. But still, I don't know, fire while you're moving. You could reposition closer to the battle, and they could keep firing. That could be a helpful thing, slightly, over a standard archer. So, all around, not a bad unit, I guess. I mean, it's actually not that expensive. About the same price as a quarreler or something. A slightly better range. Of course, it doesn't have a shield or armor, but, slightly better range, fire while moving. So that's the Glade Guard. Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts. Now, Starfire Shafts are a different type of arrow that have armor piercing, but they also imbue flaming and magical attacks. This is a big deal, again, depending on what it is that you're attacking. And then the armor piercing is pretty significant. 16 of the 19 damage there is listed as armor piercing, which is kind of weird because it totals to 19, but whatever. Anyway, Starfire Shafts are pretty powerful, but also pretty expensive. You're going to pay for them. Again, they can fire whilst moving. It's a forward-facing firing arc. Glade Guard with Hagbane tips, or a poison archer with magical attacks. Everything else is the same as the others. Fire whilst moving, forward-facing arc. Same cost as Starfire Shafts. They're just, you would use them for a different purpose, to slow enemies down. And if we take a look at the poison effects, I don't know if it's the same for every unit, but there's their poison effects. So again, pretty substantial effect to vigor and speed, which can be a big deal if you're the Elves and you're trying to kite people. Now here's where it gets interesting. 700, so quite expensive, but these Deepwood Scouts have this trait called Master Ambusher. And like I said, this is where it gets interesting. Now Master Ambusher, I might sneeze, so be patient. They have a 360-degree firing arc, and they can fire whilst moving. So as this unit kites away from an enemy unit, it will continue to fire. That's pretty sweet. You get like a horse archer type effect with a foot archer. So it's a pretty awesome skill. And then of course you have the Swift Shiver Shafts here, which do considerably more damage, and they're magical attacks. But you're going to sacrifice range. Now these are not armor piercing damage, it's just more damage at the sacrifice of range and more cost. And then you go really crazy and you got these Way Watchers over here. Now Way Watchers, these guys are going to have some pretty sick stats. 160 range, armor piercing missiles, and they have this special ability here too, which is Hawkish Precision. So they're going to get ability, so it's a constant active if no enemy presence is in ability range. Ability range is 70 meters. It gives, okay, so they get extra armor piercing damage if there's not an enemy within 70 meters, I guess, is what it looks like. And it's constant. They have the stalk, so they can stay hidden on any terrain. And so did these other Deepwood Scouts and the Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards. Man, that's a mouthful. Anyway, yeah, so these guys are extraordinarily expensive, but they do insane damage. Like the Dwarfs would want to keep a close eye out for these guys because they outrange their Quarrelers. Yes, they're extremely expensive. They are limited to 18 ammunition, but I mean these guys would do some horrendous damage to an armored unit, and they wouldn't be able to be caught by just infantry. You'd have to have other ways to catch them. And again, very, very expensive. Should be a really fun unit in the campaign where cost doesn't play in as much. All right, let's start talking Cavalry. I saw a few comments last time where people said, Wild Riders suck. Wild Riders don't suck, in my opinion, not yet. that opinion may change when I get a chance to use them more. They're a little expensive here, but you get a really solid charge bonus, and you get a few things in here that are curious. 20% physical resistance, nothing's wrong with that, and they cause fear. And then they have this damage dealer trait, so they have a strong emphasis on dealing damage. They have a pretty solid melee attack, decent melee damage, but it's this frenzy. So as long as their leadership is above 50%, they're going to do even more weapon damage, melee attack, and everything else. So, and then they have the hide in forest, and then their vanguard deploy. I actually kind of like these guys. They're brutal when it comes to cleaning up missiles. They don't have a lot of armor, but again, these guys can get some damage done because of the frenzy. It's pretty interesting, actually. I want to say that I tested them against an Empire Knight, and they absolutely throttled it. I'll have to see what else they can be tested against. They do some pretty good charge damage on infantry, too. Very good charge damage. Let's take a look here at the Wild Rioters with shields. It should be the same thing, but just with a shield. And they cost 100 more, so you get a little extra melee defense and missile block chance. Nothing else is different there. Missile Cavalry, Gallade Riders, Horse Archers. That's what these guys are. 125 range, Horse Archer. Nothing special about their missiles. 360-degree arc. They fire whilst moving. It says decent melee combatant. They are. They're only going to be good at cleaning up very light forces, and you still have to probably be careful of stuff like Thunderers or Quarrelers, because those guys are decent in melee. So just be aware of that. The next one up is the Gallade Riders. Same unit for the most part. They just have Hagbane tips, so magic attacks and poison missiles. So that's the only difference. Then you have Hawk Riders. Now Hawk Riders are interesting. This is a very quick unit at 95. It's not the fastest in the air, but it's pretty quick. And they have magical ammunition, 125 range. Basically, they have the Hagbane tips. Yeah, so it's the same old thing. They can fire whilst moving. I don't remember if they have a 360-degree arc. I don't think they do, if I remember right, but I'd have to get them back on the battlefield to see. These guys are going to be a big nuisance for factions who don't do well against air, because they can kind of shoot and kite away and shoot and kite away, and they're so fast because they can get in and out of the air. They're on hawks, and if they charge light units like missiles, they can do a lot of damage real quick and then pull away. The only thing I noticed about this unit is they get tired very quickly, so you're going to have to keep an eye on that, because as they get tired, obviously their melee potential goes down. Not a lot of armor on these guys either, so you'd have to keep them free of enemy missiles. So just interesting unit there. They could be used to slow down and poison an upcoming enemy army. Obviously, that would be one potential... Oh, wait. I thought those guys had Hagbane tips. My bad, I completely misread it. They have higher missile damage, but there's fewer of them. It's not armor piercing. I had the mouse in the wrong spot, so my bad. They have armor piercing weapon damage. Like, so that, again, when these guys shoot their arrows, they can do a quick charge on units and just get in and out real quick, and they actually do some decent damage. Their charge bonus is really low for a flying unit, but still, you get the charge bonus and you're doing armor-piercing damage. I found, like, I kind of tested them out like harassing Black Orcs. They didn't get like a ton of damage done with the missiles, but they would do a little damage, and then when the AI wasn't paying attention, I'd charge in real quick and hit the Black Orcs and leave, and they just weren't able to get any damage done to my Hawks because of being able to hit them and knock them over and run. So I think these guys are going to be good for hit-and-run tactics, though. If they get caught in melee by an enemy air unit, and they are fast. I thought they were. Yeah, 110. They're very fast. But like I said, they do get tired quickly. You have to be careful of that. This top one is Sisters of the Thorn. This is an interesting one. So they have very high damage poison attacks. Not very high AP, though. But again, it's high damage poison attacks. And then they have decent melee stats mixed in. If we take a look at some of their abilities here, they have some special abilities. They have the Curse of Honor Air. And this is you can use this from 200 meters away to take away tons of speed and accuracy. So it could potentially make these cavalry a whole lot more devastating. And then, of course, you have the Shield of Thorns here. You can use it on an ally, and it affects all allies in a 45-meter radius, and it gives them more weapon damage and more missile resistance. So this could help you with your infantry as a support unit, which is kind of interesting there again. So if we go down a little bit further, Great Eagles. So this is a flying melee unit. It's got very low hit points, and the charge is here. Let me make sure I'm on it. The charge is much lower than, say, like a Griffin, and its mass is not as big and stuff like that. But it is very fast, 110 speed. It's not armored, and it doesn't do armor-piercing damage. So this is not necessarily going to be something you want to send head-to-head against a vampire dragon, or the general of the empire on a griffin, or Luan Leon Kerr, or whatever it is. Yeah, you just know. It's not what these guys are meant for. Again, I think these guys are going to be meant for hit and run, fast attack, you know, just kind of melee, you know, punch and get out, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I would think they're going to be used for, hit and run attacks. Treekin come in at 900. This is a monstrous infantry. I haven't done extensive testing on this unit yet, but I mean, if we take a look, their weapon strength is pretty dang solid. And they're going to do some, or hang on, I'm still looking at the Great Eagle. Why does it keep doing that to me? Yeah, I was like, it can't be that big. Anyway, they do magical attacks, and they have pretty good weapon strength, though their melee attack is not all that impressive. They are immune to psychology, which is great. They have a charged defense against large, which can be handy if they're going to get hit by an anti-large cavalry. They are weak to fire damage. Be aware of that. And they have a physical resistance, and they cause fear. So a lot of useful things, and of course they can knock down gates too. So just be aware of that. An interesting unit. Like I said, I haven't done extensive testing, so I'm not going to say exactly what they're good for yet, but I'm assuming these guys help chew up infantry. Though, again, they don't have armor piercing with their attacks, so I don't know exactly what the use is for them just yet. The tree man here, I'm assuming, again, haven't gotten to test this unit, but I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like a giant. Very high weapon strength, though the armor piercing's not really there. And then it's magical attacks. Once again, it has the physical resistance. It's weak to fire like all the other tree units. But this one causes fear and terror, which is interesting. And it still has charged defense against large, and it can hide in a forest with a huge monster. That's kind of interesting. Usually you can't hide in the forest with the huge monsters, so makes sense though. If you're a tree man, you might be able to blend in. And then the forest dragon. Now this is a potent melee unit. It has poison attacks, magical attacks, 450 damage, with a considerable portion of it at 290 being armor piercing, fear and terror, physical resistance, missile resistance of 25, and decent armor considering that's a wood elf unit. Most of them don't have very high. This is a solid air-to-air melee unit, and it's going to be a danger on the ground too. So this is an interesting unit for sure, and I'm going to be curious to see how it gets used. It is not cheap, but I've seen this dragon, even without a lord on it, go head-to-head with the General of the Empire with the healing potions and beat him. And I'm sure the poison plays a big role in that. And now it's cost a little more with the General of the Empire than healing potions, but still, it was impressive in the performance. So a tough unit to be sure. All right, that's all the units. I've covered them. Again, my thought stands on these guys. I've got a lot to learn about the Wood Elves. In fact, I'm going to go play my very first battle with them right here live for you, so let's go do that. Battles, quick battle. I don't even know what kind of army I'm going to use, and hopefully the person gives me time to pick. But I think my glass cannon statement about them is going to be true. Hit and run tactics. It's going to require more micro. I'm kind of excited to challenge myself to try and get good with the Wood Elves, because it's not my style of gameplay, and I think it would be fun to learn something different. So I'm excited to use them in campaign and get. Let's make sure that I don't have any mods running. Pretty sure I don't. I don't know, everything's different in the battle list, so yeah, I'm not going to find a battle. I'll exit out of here, see if I can turn off any mod that might be running, and then we'll try it. Alright, I'm back. My game hadn't updated. I was still running on the what do you call it, the private beta version that I got whenever I got the game early, so I had to update it to the release version. So that's why I wasn't able to find any matches. Let's see how I do, which is probably pretty bad, because like I said, the Elves don't really match my playstyle, but I'm going to go for it. I'll try the actual Wood Elf faction. We'll see if this guy mirror matches me since they're new and everybody wants to try it. Yeah, he's going to mirror match me. Boring. I don't like mirror matches, so I'll play against the Elves. This guy's already readied up. Let's see, what would I want to do against him? Let's do maybe Parted Warhorse. I'm going to have to hurry. Bright Wizard could be handy. Parted Warhorse. What the? Doesn't have any items or abilities? Is this a stupid bug? Yeah, it's some kind of bug. Okay, whatever. This guy did not give me time to choose an army, so long, buddy. Whenever people don't give me time to choose an army, and it's not like I was like, you know, dragging out time there. He just readied up too quick, and so I ditched him. I do that whenever people don't give me time to choose an army. I just ditch them and make them go look for another match. It's not like against any rules, obviously, because you can do it. I would say that it's fair, I guess, since, you know, it allows it on the battle, but I think it's slightly bad etiquette. So like I said, when people do that, I just ditch them and reload. Because I'm not going to go give them a free victory because I didn't have time to choose my army. See if I pick Elves, we'll see if he cooperates here, if he wants to do another mirror matchup. Because everybody wants to play him right now, so that's the thing. If he wants to stick with Elves, I might go Empire and try and counter him with a bunch of fire damage. Let's see what he does. Okay, he's going to go Beastmen. I have no idea what to pick. I'm going to go Forest Dragon here just for fun. Get some healing potion. I want to try a Waystalker. I don't need any of his abilities. Armor piercing. Okay. Do I want a spell singer like Lore of Life maybe? Direct damage. I don't think I'm interested in the direct damage. I want to replenish hit points. Affects all allies. Damage. I'm not interested in that at the moment. 30 armor. Explosion. I don't know if that really works, but I don't know. Let's just give that a shot. Let's get some Dryads, because they should be decent against cheap Beastmen infantry. Beastmen shouldn't have a lot of armor. So I'm thinking about trying some of these Deepwood Scouts. And let's do some, maybe some Glade Riders. We got Hawk Riders. Let's do Glade Riders. Do I want the Hagbane tips? Let's try a Tree Man too, that might be kind of fun. I don't have enough money for any fast movers. I don't have any anti-large here either. That could be a problem. Thinking since I have so much money spent in missiles over there, but do I want to bring the Tree Man? The Tree Man would kind of be cool. How much time do I got? I got 22 seconds. I need some spears. Let's just go without any cavalry and see how it turns out. Okay, that'll be good enough. Let's give it a shot. Alright, Elves must pay, so this guy has it out for me. Look at that, I'm actually using my real name here online. Well, not HeirofCarthage. Don't think I've ever named myself HeirofCarthage on Steam. Maybe I did. I've been patchy quite a bit, but I've been changing names a lot. I figure, we'll just roll with the standard name here. No more hiding in the shadow of the Elves. We got a lot of Vanguard deploy, which would be handy. I almost kind of wonder if we put this on the back side of the hill, maybe just outside of sight, if that would be helpful.
Warriors on aerial!
Of course, we don't really want to fight the Beastmen quickly, because we need to do some damage over time, so let's maybe back up. Put our army back here. Let's use our Lord to do some scouting, maybe. We've got this, now, if they have fast movers, the only thing I can protect them with is my Lord. Let's put my Treekin back here, the Spell Singer. What's the speed on this guy? 42, so he's pretty quick. Yeah, the big risk here is if the Beastmen have some really fast units, I may not be able to outrun them. But I kind of want to start up here. Maybe if I have enough stuff to distract. I don't know, this will be risky, but let's go for it. Make sure these guys run skirmish. Skirmish with him too. Is this magic missile thing Does it start with a 90-second cooldown? Let's see. No, it's available immediately. Let's pop him with it just for fun. Whoa! I forgot they had harpies. I'm gonna run away from his guys and kite back, so never seen harpies before. Pretty cool looking. They're gonna have to be pretty tough though, I think, in order to try and take out Forest Dragon. What else has he got? Gorble no longer has a healing potion. 2 Beast Shamans. Now that's interesting. Maybe looking to go Doomflock. Warherd with shields. Oh wow, he's got some Centigores coming in. That's not good. That's not good. Let's push up. Come in from behind. This is not looking good already, because he's going to catch a bunch of my expensive units. And I can't bring my Lord down because it's too dangerous. Let's bring back my Deepwood Archers. Okay, he's kind of blobbing in here. Is he going to... Yeah, he's going to attack my Lord. I don't think that's going to go well. Let's bring all these guys back here. Let's engage. Keep these... I'm kind of engaging a little bit earlier than I'd like. Yeah, the Harpies are getting torn apart by my dragon, as one would expect. Let's try and target down Gorble a little maybe and go for this blob. Try and get into these guys. I'm going to disengage here and chase these guys. Let's pull up behind the Beastmen. Keep attacking Harpies, please. Let's try an explosion over here. A little bit of healing. Got my bows pulled up to their back. Let's keep chasing Centigores. So far, so good. Keep healing guys up. Did I lose all my expensive archers? Yeah, they're getting attacked by these guys right now. Let's keep getting rid of Harpies. Let's use my Glade Dragon, try and get rid of... Who's this? Let's go attack their Lord. He's summoned up some Chaos Spawn. That's kind of a problem. Yeah, I don't know that this is going well for me at the moment.
They will die. Yes. Orders. The forest calls.
Losing a lot of guys here. Let's try and save our Waywatcher from these Centigores with great weapons. Let's kind of pull our Spellsinger back. Okay, chasing these guys out. I have not been able to do the type of damage I want here. Heal up my Lord. Send some support in here. He got all my expensive archers for the most part, but I got a few of his guys over here. I don't have any healing available to me. He's chasing my bows with all the Harpies. That's probably not a bad choice. I don't think my Lord can survive this fight. He's just not getting the damage done, unfortunately. Let's pull him out of here if we can. Come on, Glade Dragon. Back in the air, buddy. Let's try and cycle back around. I don't think I have enough to finish this. Let's get my Spellsinger back to safety. All you guys keep attacking here. We're taking out a few of the units here. His Harpies have caught some of my cavalry. I'm gonna keep kiting as best I can. Yeah, go ahead and chase those Centigores. Get some of these units back from routing. Centigores are going down. My Lord's back up. I'm going to try and do some missile attacks on his key units and try and keep Let's take my tree man after his lord, maybe? I got some healing up. I don't know if I'm using these spells right, because I haven't really studied into them yet. Let's go back into skirmish. Pop these guys. Yeah, these harpies, I should be able to shut the harpies down. And if I can keep 1 or 2 units alive, I'm going to make sure these guys are in skirmish. Let's reactivate some of this stuff. I'm going to try and keep... How come I can't select this? You know, it's way over here. We got rid of some of the harpies. Got rid of more harpies. Let's target the Morger, or whatever his name is here. Some vigor. Make sure all these guys are in skirmish. I'm gonna, let's see, I think my tree guy died. All I've got left is a few skirmish. I'm gonna hide some of my units so that my lord can do some more skirmishing. It's a little bit underhanded of me, but I don't care. I'm an elf. I run and fight when I choose to, right? We're not really getting any damage done here versus their lord. Maybe let's go after the Bray Shamans. They'll be... Whoa, what the... Way to skirmish there, buddy. I don't think we can outrun Gorbel, unfortunately. I'm almost out of ammo with this guy. Let's just keep running around and try and kite. Bring these bow guys back over, see if we can clean up some of the beastie infantry. Yeah, so my Way Watcher, or whatever his name, Weight Watchers, he's gone. Cleaned up one of the shamans. Let's keep running, because I don't want to lose enough units that... Let's just kind of position some of these units around the map. Get my spell singer away from these guys. I'm out of ammo with these horse archers. That's unfortunate. Okay, we got rid of that guy. Am I out of ammo? Oh yeah, I'm out of ammo. That's not good. Let's see if we can maybe fear route some of his infantry. I actually need to kind of get my guys back together. I have little bits of ammo, bits and pieces of ammo here. He's got some harpies up here too. Let's go knock them out of the fight. I don't think there's any way I can win this. My skirmishers got killed a little too early. I would have done a little bit better with that, maybe. Let's see if we can, well, no. I gotta be careful if I land, because my guys are gonna rout quickly. I got this magical explosion. Let's see if we get a lucky hit here. Go already! Let's see if we can maybe single out Gorbel. I'm gonna hit this group in the back. I'm gonna try and heal my lord a little. I shouldn't have singled out my horse archers like that, because now they're gonna get killed piecemeal. Try and do a quick hit mission here with my blade, or yeah, my forest dragon. There we go. We got a route. Let's try and get back in the air. Ah, crap! Come on. Gorbel's probably going to prevent me from taking off because he's kind of fast, but maybe I'll get lucky. There we go. There we go. I got a little bit of terror started, and we can start trying to run down some of those units. Yeah, come over here and run down some of these units. Let's come single these units out. Let's pull away here. There we go. There we go. We're going to make sure the rest of these guys go their way. Yeah. Gorbel caught up to those archers, but they were out of ammo, so not the end of the world. I mean, I'd rather have them than not have them, even without ammo, but we'll take what we can get. gotta shatter these Warherds. His war boss is what I'm kind of most afraid of right now. Let's get some of these spears away. Try and collect all my elves back into one spot. I think these guys should go away, but I'm gonna give chase just real quick. Got a couple of Eternal Guard. I'm gonna just leave the Harpies be because they're so weak. They will probably rout. Replenish his hit points. Is my Lord? Yeah, he's still. I'm gonna keep replenishing my Lord. But I think if these two units are up here, maybe they'll get some of the effect. This one did, but the other one did not. Alright, so my Lord is in better shape. Got those guys off the battlefield. Let's try and route some more of his infantry real quick, like try and single out one of these units. Kind of keep playing the kiting game.
Gallade Riders.
Swing that around. Okay, this infantry unit's a little bit singled out. No, pull off. There we go. Okay, he's about to turn around. Let's maybe go ahead and try and engage Gorbul. And then hit his infantry. I don't know if Gorbul is immune to psychology. Yeah, he is. Of course he is. Gorbul is psychology. Let's try and kill... Oh, he summoned another Chaos Spawn. That was extremely timely. That was brutal. He's probably got me there because I can't seem to even damage this guy. He must have replenishment. He does. He's got replenishment. So he's going to be able to replenish an insane amount of damage. But he's replenished, or he's brought up 2 Chaos Spawns. That is a lot of spawning. I think we might be... Yeah, we're going to die here. It's going to be close, but I'm going to go ahead and GG here. That was good. He outplayed me. He deserves this one. That guy is tough nut to crack there because his replenishment is absurd. Like, I just couldn't even do any damage to him. And he can still replenish. Like, he gets to replenish 3,000 hit points. We hadn't even begun to touch him, really. So, interesting first battle. It was a valiant defeat, so we'll take it. Elves won. My move to put the skirmishers up on the hill was too risky, and I knew it could be because of the fact that Gorbul is fast moving. I hadn't thought about the Cynagors or the Harpies, but even more reason. The Glade Lord did quite well, and a decent performance from the Dryads for the most part. Glade Guard, not so bad either. Not too bad. I mean, really got a decent performance. I spent a lot of money on these Deepwood Scouts and don't feel like they paid back. And the Waystalker, however, I mean, he got some work done here with 62 kills. So, not bad at all on the Waystalker. But I just I wasn't able to get it Shadow Gave here, and that's the problem. Hope y'all enjoyed that battle. I'll be back with more elf battles. I'm going to tinker around, maybe come up with some builds, think of some counters. The summon units there, he can summon more units than previous. Like, I think used to you could just summon one unit. I think now you can summon more, but they disintegrate over time. So that's the trade-off. But the way he summoned them there to protect his guys right at the end caught me off guard, and it was good. It was a good use of the new mechanics, and I hadn't considered it. I don't think there's much I could have done about it regardless. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Again, if I would have used my skirmishers more safely and from a distance, I could have protected, because I had the Eternal Guard in the back. I could have protected them from the Centaurs, and I probably could have inflicted a lot more damage. So hope y'all enjoyed that one. HeirofCarthage signing out. I'll be back with more Wood Elves footage soon. See you then.